Greenfield, Indiana, and today we're going to be talking about Downtown Greenfield with two owners that own businesses in Downtown Greenfield. I would like to welcome Dee Dellacca, owner of Second Seasons, and Donna Johnson, owner of The Bread Ladies. Welcome, ladies. Donna, let's start with you. Give me just a little history about yourself and your experience.
Boy, I am one actually of the two owners of The Bread Ladies. Donna Eckler is a co-owner there, but I'm originally from just outside of Chicago in a little burg called Crown Point, Indiana, which if you take a look at Downtown Greenfield, you can pretty much see a little mini carbon copy of. And we moved down here with my husband's business through, at that time, Inland Steel, and moved down here because of Roll Coater, and have been in town now for 20 years this October, and absolutely love it. And my history is I have a business degree. I love being a secretary more than anything and taking care of people, but then when I moved down here, I started cooking like crazy, and when I met Donna, we kind of gelled and started to cook together all the time, and we started doing it for other people, and it just took off from there.
Okay, Dee, a little background on yourself.
My husband and I lived up in Fishers area, and really felt like we were not at home. And so we kept talking about, well, when we grow older, we'll move to the country. And finally, when the dog next door ate through our fence for the third time, we said, let's just move now. And we actually took 6 months, went to every small town around Indianapolis area within an hour radius, because we both worked downtown. And really visited them, looked at the school communities, looked at the growth of their county and the downtown. And felt at home every time we came into Greenfield. Every time we came into Greenfield, it pulled us back. Everything about it. And so we chose to move here, and we are building our home here, and absolutely love it. My background is an accounting degree with a master's in business administration.
What colleges? Let's give them credit.
Indiana State University was my my major in accounting, and then also Indiana Wesleyan is my master's program.
Okay.
And I did Medicare and Medicaid reimbursement, government reimbursement for hospitals and home health agencies across the Quad State area, and then also worked for top 5 hospitals here in Indiana. Okay. And I loved it, but it was a lot of stress. And I have shopped consignment for a long time. And when we first opened, it was a partnership, and we decided to open up a little shop downtown. And we didn't think it was going to be a huge thing, and it has grown immensely. And we loved it, and it. I do own it by myself now. My partner went back home with her family, but she is still a great supporter of us. And my husband works downtown as well, and we now have 2 children, and they'll be going to Greenfield school systems, and so we're just very happy here.
Great. Donna, why did you pick Downtown Greenfield to start a business? Let's go back, how many years ago did you start Bread Ladies in Downtown Greenfield?
Well, Donna and I incorporated 7 years ago.
Okay, 7 years.
A little over 7 years ago. We had our grand opening July 1st, 5 years ago. It'll be 6 years ago in this July. And we were just off the beaten path of downtown. And we kept coming downtown because that's where we started. Farmers Market was right there on American Legion Place. And we would sit there and gaze longingly at the buildings behind us and say, wouldn't it be great, wouldn't it be great?
While you were selling your bread at
While
Farmers
we
Market.
were selling bread at Farmers Market,
Okay.
And building up our clientele there. One day we saw a for lease sign or for sale sign on the building next to where we currently are, and we called on it, and it had already been sold. It got bought right out from underneath us, and we were a little upset about that, but we got over it. Found a little place off Center Street, Center Street Shops there. We were there for about 2.5 years, and Rob Young, my landlord now, came to me and sat on my front porch and said, have you guys ever thought about going downtown? Well, a gentleman who was running for mayor at that time had already been in, had already come in and said, you know, you guys, have you ever looked at downtown? And we said, that's where we want to be, that's where we want to be. And you put a little buzz in Rob's ear, and Rob came and sat and talked to me and Donna. And within 3 months, the plan was laid and we were in action. And opening on July 1st, we thought we would be like half coffee house and half restaurant. And on July 2nd, we revamped the whole thing because on our cold opening, we were completely full and they all wanted to eat lunch and not just sit around and have coffee. And pretty much since then, we've been trying to expand in any and every way we can.
So after your very first day, you probably went home that night and said, I made the right decision to come downtown Greenfield.
I knew downtown was bustling because I didn't know at that time that you could get online and find all these statistics about how many cars go through what intersections and 9 and 40 and how busy it is and per capita incomes and all that kind of stuff. So I was the man on the street. I sat there every night for 7 weekends and literally counted cars, counted people walking by, counted how many cars turned down American Legion, counted how many people were coming out of the courthouse as employees, how many people were coming out of the courthouse as convicts, and how many people were coming out of the courthouse as people who were potential customers. And the numbers were staggering. You had your entire client base for a restaurant, because you can only seat so many people, and people can only eat the same place so many days a week. Although we've got a wide menu. It's all right there. You know, we needed to have a captive audience of 500 people, and the county at that time employed almost 200, and the city had employed almost 150. And now, when they did the renovations and everything, that just increased so much that you know, we've actually gone to incentive plans for the local. The county has a 20% off day for, or pardon me, the police departments and any service organizations will have a 20% off day the last Monday of this month, and then the city right now gets the first Monday a 10% off discount, and then we're also going to be offering a county discount throughout the month too, because you know, we've got to learn to appreciate who founded us, and that's really where it came from.
Great. Dee, what really was the motivation for you to come downtown besides talking to her?
Actually, I didn't get to meet Donna.
You didn't even meet Donna before?
It was about 5 to 6 months.
And it was almost a year before we really made the connection.
I thought maybe Donna was more of an influence.
No, actually, you know, the statistics thing, my husband's a huge computer person, and so the minute we started talking about making a business happen in Greenfield, you know, he said, well, what are the statistics? And so we started looking at the traffic flow, that, you know, it's going to increase 5 times in the next 5 years through the 40 and the 9 interchanges. We looked at the family bases here, and for consignment, your average shopper will actually travel 23.8 miles to their favorite consignment shop. And then when you add in, because most consignment shoppers are women, but when you add in the children's into there and then the men's as well, you're going to get even more people coming in. And we wanted to be in the heart of something. We wanted to be in the heart of where Greenfield was, and we knew about the bread ladies, and we were like, you know what, there's a lot of people that come downtown for the bread ladies. Wouldn't it be great if they could eat and shop? And we looked at several places all over Greenfield, and it just didn't feel the right place. You know, you just knew that that wasn't the place for you. But when we went through, and at that time it had been completely gutted, and I think Morris was still next door, so we were looking kind of at this empty building with, actually windows weren't even in at the time. I mean, it was still boarded up.
Totally empty.
And we were just like, this is the place for us, and we're going to make this our home. And it was great. It felt wonderful. Every time, you know, we talked about the ups and downs of opening a business, it was still the right thing to do downtown. And it's been a blessing over and over and over again. And the amount of people that have been walking downtown has increased dramatically over the last 12 months. I mean, we had, just last weekend, we probably had 20 different couples that were not from the Greenfield area that were shopping downtown. They'd eaten at the Bread Ladies. They came shopping with us. We talked to them about going down to Moxie and Hometown Comics and other shops, the antique shops, down the way, to keep them here and just let them know that's just, you know, across the street or just a block away. And that's what really pulled us to downtown, was there was all these opportunities, you know, and you could say, well, there was all these empty places downtown. Well, I don't see them as empty. I see them as opportunities. And that's the best thing. And And it's just, we're like, there's a lot of potential here. And I think it's going to go in a positive way. And I want to be a part of that. I want to help that. And we've loved it ever since. I mean,